Coming up on Cronkite News, a local organization is launching a $10 million voting campaign, what they want to accomplish and who they hope to reach.
Plus, we'll discuss veterans experiencing mental health emergencies and how one law is helping to address this issue among U.S. service members.
And later, Meals on Wheels and ASU study on how to support clients and their pets, especially elderly people.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Raven Payne.
And I'm Nick SCHESKE. Thank you for joining us. Today in downtown Phoenix, community leaders joined an organization to introduce an ongoing voter effort. Cronkite News reporter Liz Flores tells us what these efforts are and who is behind it.
Chicanos por la Causa and Arizona community leaders emphasize the importance of raising awareness for Hispanic voter outcome. And today they announced how they plan to reach their goal. Chicanos por la Causa Action Fund Executive Director Joseph Garcia emphasizes the importance of Latino votes.
And so it is no by accident that we are here today to announce the launch of an unprecedented commitment by Chicanos por la Causa for historic Register and Get Out the Vote campaign for Arizona.
Garcia announced the launch of a $10 million Get Out the Vote campaign for Arizona Latinos. He says that this campaign will have a historic impact on the 2022 election. They say they will be working with other Latino organizations.
So we look forward to working with our fellow community members to register Latino voters and to fight for our community's ability to vote, and not just in this November, but in every election to come.
The Action Fund is set to educate voters through advertisements and canvassing. The Action Fund has one goal: to encourage Latino voter outcome.
Latino issues will be heard and Latino issues will be addressed. This is a nonpartisan voter campaign, details of which we'll be discussing with an impressive line of speakers here today.
Through the campaign, they hope Latinos can take part in critical decisions that can impact their lives and the future of others who cannot vote. In the newsroom, Liz Flores, Cronkite News.
You've probably noticed things getting more expensive lately. Well, now the managing director of the International Monetary Fund is saying that high inflation is a, quote, clear and present danger to the world's economy. She credits this risk to Russia's war on Ukraine. She said the invasion worsened economic conditions for over 140 countries. The Russia-Ukraine war has already affected the trade of energy and grains throughout the world, and it may lead to food shortages in the areas of the Middle East and Africa. This announcement comes ahead of meetings with the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank next week.
The number of Alzheimer's cases in Arizona is expected to grow by 1/3 in just the next 3 years. That's the fastest rate of growth in the country, according to the Alzheimer's Association. But advocates worry that Arizona may not be prepared, as Alexia Stanbridge reports from our Washington bureau.
There are currently 150,000 Alzheimer's patients in Arizona, and that number is expected to reach 200,000 by 2025. Pam Ostrowski doesn't mince words about what that means.
We have a crisis coming.
Ostrowski, the founder of Alzheimer's Family Consulting, spells out the challenge.
We have a caregiver shortage, we have a nurses shortage, we have a doctor shortage, and we have a 33% increase in Alzheimer's diagnoses.
Cases are expected to surge nationwide as baby boomers reach prime ages for Alzheimer's. That's a particular problem in Arizona, where the growing population includes many retirees.
Throughout the U.S., people are aging. The baby boomer generation is turning 75, and so the age-related changes or increase in Alzheimer's disease are reflected in that.
And Arizona currently has just 92 geriatricians, or doctors who deal with issues of aging.
You can only imagine we're talking about 150,000 people with 92 specialist doctors, right?
Many geriatricians are clustered in urban areas. That makes treatment difficult for people in rural areas at current levels. McManus says much less when up to 50,000 new patients are added.
It is a major public health crisis, frankly, and we know it's only going to continue to be more significant and more urgent.
Alzheimer's is a fatal form of dementia that typically affects older people. It causes confusion, mood swings, and can get to the point where a person can no longer perform daily tasks.
The saddest part for family members is really that they are losing the memories, the common memories with this individual.
There are few current treatments, but experts said families can be prepared.
Early identification and recognition is the most important place to start.
That can help families plan for what Joshi calls a disease that affects whole families. Ostrowski says that when someone is diagnosed, their first question should be,
how do I plan for this? How do I prepare for what's about to happen?
Planning ahead can make the hard decisions to come a little easier. And while it can be a lonely time for everyone involved, Ostrowski says it's important to remember,
you're not alone. There's people out here to help, and reach out.
In Washington, Alexia Stambridge, Cronkite News.
If you're looking for help for yourself or a family member who may have Alzheimer's, you can reach out to the Alzheimer's Association helpline at 1-800-272-3900 or visit Alzheimer's Family Consulting at alzheimersfamilyconsulting.com.
Arizona public school students will now be guaranteed a quiet moment to themselves before their school days begin, thanks to a new law signed by Governor Ducey. The law requires all K-12 public schools and charter schools to provide moments of silence for students each day. The moment of silence itself is required to last at least 1 minute and last no longer than 2 minutes. Ducey said he expects students to use this time to meditate, pray, or otherwise collect their thoughts and reflect before the school day starts. Yet, teachers won't be allowed to offer suggestions as to what students should think about during this time. Other students won't be allowed to interfere with their peers' moment of silence either.
Senator Mark Kelly helped introduce the Brandon Act that could help members of the military with their mental health. Elements of the legislation was passed into law as part of the National Defense Authorization Act signed into law by President Biden. Cronkite News reporter Valeria Rodriguez explains why this proposal might help veterans suffering from depression.
Tragedy turns in an act that could save millions of lives. Terry and Patrick Casavera lost their only child to suicide after his time in the military. They advocated for Brandon Act, which helps militaries who are experiencing mental health emergencies. 1 in 5 suicide victims in Arizona were veterans, according to a recent ASU study. Therapist Yvette Alvarez, who works with various people in the military, explains how the lack of emotional safety can potentially lead military service members to ending their lives.
And when you're dealing with people who are severely depressed, that are suicidal or attempting suicide, oftentimes there's a lack of emotional safety. And so any kind of safety that can wrap around a patient in order to get that help will be beneficial for them.
Senator Mark Kelly came together with Brandon's parents to create this act.
And I worked with some of my colleagues to get across the finish line, and it's in the defense bill. And now the services are going to be required to have a plan and have training and a process where service members can get the mental health services they need to get through tough times, tough serving in the military.
Kelly served 25 years in the Navy, and he says he knows firsthand what it's like to see others struggle.
And I saw in my career, folks that really struggled, and the DoD needs to do a better job, and this is a good step.
This bill has the potential to transform the future for veterans in being able to seek mental health services.
This would be at least a step forward in people being able to get the help that they need, and also to feel a little more protected.
Senator Mark Kelly is hopeful for a positive outcome.
These kind of things play out in data. What I hope to see is a decrease in the number of folks that wind up ending their lives because of a mental health crisis.
The Veteran Crisis Hotline is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and can be reached at 800-273-8255 by pressing 1, or it can be accessed online by veteranscrisisline.net. In the newsroom, Valeria Rodriguez, Cronkite News.
Coming up, Meals on Wheels partners with ASU on a study on how the elderly benefit from their pets, what the study found, and the best way to help serve vulnerable populations and their furry friends.
And a pandemic-era expansion of free school lunches is set to expire. We'll explain the impact when we come back.
What you get from Washington Week that you will not get anywhere else are the best and the brightest reporters from different media companies, and they're able to have a real conversation about things that are happening in Washington and around the country. But it's also a show about issues that are relevant to different communities. How do you think that, as the moderator, I feel this deep responsibility to bring in those other perspectives so that people understand how power and politics impact their daily lives.
Friday nights at 7 on Arizona PBS.
Universal free school meals are set to expire at the end of this school year as funding runs out. The program was a pandemic measure put in place in 2020, and extra money was not included in the Senate's $1.5 trillion spending bill approved in March. Congress still has time to act and extend the program. If it expires, schools will return to only serving meals to low-income students who qualify for free or reduced price meals under this National School Lunch Program. There is currently no number on how many children would be affected by the return to pre-pandemic measures.
Pets help with social isolation, particularly in the elderly community, and researchers are working with Meals on Wheels to see how they can help better this human and animal bond. I learned how this study can help those clients in the future.
Don, it's Theresa.
For 5 years, Theresa Panzarella has been delivering food and some company for clients of Chicanos por la Causa Meals on Wheels.
Hi, we're having so-and-so. I tasted this morning. It's really good. You're going to enjoy it, you know.
Panzarella understands that for many elderly people, their pets are their social connection.
Pets often come up when older adults are talking about their social environment, or their social connections.
Okay, do you own any dogs?
This is one reason why researchers from ASU's Edson Center for Innovation in Healthy and Resilient Aging are partnering with PetSmart Charities and Meals on Wheels America to better understand the needs of the elderly population and their pets.
In the past 2 years, have you reached out to a shelter or a humane society for assistance with your pets?
Researchers are surveying Meals on Wheels clients to assess their quality of living.
What are the needs that Meals on Wheels clients have? What are the effects of pet ownership?
The study built on previous research from 2021 that showed 77.6% of clients need assistance with pet food, 69.5% with vaccines, and 62.6% with pet nail trimming.
Within the research, we also found that 80% of those surveyed agreed that Meals on Wheels helped them keep their pet.
Alice Hernandez started using Chicanos por la Causa's Meals on Wheels program after her 95-year-old mother suffered from a stroke.
I'm not a cook, so it helps. It really helps a lot.
The cooks here at Chicanos por la Causa cook around 60 to 100 meals per day for around 100 clients. Now, those meals can range from anything from shrimp ceviche, turkey burgers, and even shepherd's pie. But they don't only provide food for clients, they also help out their furry friends through what they call yard sales, where clients can pick up supplies for pets for free.
Dog food, biscuits.
Hernandez says she routinely shops these yard sales for her pet dog.
I pick up something for the dog.
And Hernandez said she's always been a dog person and always wants a pet in her life. Meals on Wheels programs across the valley see this bond with their clients. Ali Peckham, ASU Assistant Professor of Aging, says at the end of the day, this study is about one thing.
Yes, we're living longer, and isn't that wonderful? But we want to live longer with an increased quality of life rather than a reduced quality of life.
And for many people, that means spending it with a companion who gives unconditional love. According to researchers, this study can help Meals on Wheels clients receive programs like veterinary care and mental health services.
It's starting to get pretty warm out there this week with the winds calming down just a bit. Madison Thomas has the forecast for what you can expect going into this weekend.
These high temperatures we've been seeing throughout today continue throughout the rest of the evening. At 10 p.m., we are still seeing temperatures over 70 degrees. And these warm temperatures continue tomorrow across the entire state of Arizona. Tomorrow, Phoenix will be at a high of 90 degrees. We do have a couple outliers, such as Flagstaff with a high of 62. Down in Yuma, we will see a high of 89. And Tucson matches Phoenix tomorrow with a high of 90 degrees. Looking at the weather across the entire country tomorrow is where we see some variation. Phoenix is going to be one of the hottest places in the country tomorrow. Over in LA, we will see a high of 66. And up north, temperatures are still in the 20s and 30s. Looking at the forecast for the next several days, tomorrow we do see some clouds, and those clouds do carry over into the weekend. On Sunday, which is Easter, we will have a high of 92 degrees, so plan your Easter celebrations accordingly. Maybe do your Easter egg hunt very early in the morning. We don't want any melted chocolate. We have warm temperatures continuing throughout the week with highs of 97 on Monday and Tuesday. We haven't seen 100-degree temperatures yet in Arizona, but we may be seeing those soon. We have clear skies to finish out the rest of the week. Lows throughout the week are in the 50s and 60s. From the Cronkite Weather Center, I'm Madison Thomas.
The Cronkite Sports Report is up next. I'm Andrew Kurland, and we'll give you an inside look on a jiu-jitsu class created as a way to fight against bullying. That and more coming up next.
Your favorite member benefit is getting better and bigger.
This is wonderful.
Over the next year, Passport is adding new shows and doubling the number of episodes for you to stream.
They give us all that they've got.
From your favorite cooking and travel series.
Even the stairs are breathtaking.
To history specials and award-winning documentaries. Better and bigger.
That really is the fun part.
Stream on any device with Passport on the PBS Video app.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication's Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Welcome back to Cronkite News. I'm Andrew Kurland, and this is your Cronkite Sports Report. The Diamondbacks beat the Astros 3-2 last night in sort of a bizarre way. With a walk-off error in the bottom of the 10th, Ketel Marte had the game-winning hit to left field, which then bounced off the fielder's glove and dropped to the ground. That allowed the winning run to cross home plate. Starting pitcher Merrill Kelly pitched 5+ innings, giving up just 3 hits while striking out 6. This win also ended their 4-game losing streak. They now head to New York to start a 3-game series against the Mets tomorrow. With the Coyotes eliminated from the playoffs, they've turned their focus to building for the future. In Tuesday's game against the Devils, 2 players played in their NHL debut. The team takes on Vancouver tonight, and we could see even more young players hitting the ice. Head coach Andre Tourny wants to see how they'll do and hopes the veterans can serve as mentors.
I think the young guys were good, though. They compete, they work hard. I think want a little bit more of our older guy, personally. I think I want them more engaged. I want them to push a little bit more. I think our young guys need role model and the leadership.
Mixed martial arts is a growing sport in Phoenix, and many athletes say they got into it after being bullied. That was the case for one Valley Jiu-Jitsu instructor who has used it as motivation to help others. Cronkite News reporter Parker Dunn has more on how Jiu-Jitsu training is used to combat bullying.
Bullying is an issue that can have widespread impact on children. Those who experience bullying are oftentimes afraid to stand up for themselves or don't know how to defend themselves. Jiu-Jitsu instructor Michael Stinson was bullied back when he was a kid, and it inspired him to change his life.
I myself, as a kid, was bullied. I was smart, I was in the gifted program, I was very small, and so I got picked on a lot, and I had no clue what to do. I got assaulted by 3 guys, had absolutely no idea what to do. And I just determined I never wanted to be in that situation again.
It was in that moment that Stinson learned about jiu-jitsu. He fell in love with the art and trained often. After learning how to defend himself, he decided to open Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Chandler so that he could teach others how to do the same.
This school started in 2002. We were teaching a form of Japanese jiu-jitsu at the time. That form had more dirty tricks and striking and stuff like that. And eventually, I kind of got into Gracie Jiu-Jitsu around 2008, and slowly but surely over the next several years, we got more and more into Gracie Jiu-Jitsu.
After getting bullied himself when he was younger, Benjamin Vigil wanted to enroll his son in the program so that he would not have to go through the same bad experiences as him.
When I was a child, I was mercilessly bullied, so I thought it was really important to teach my son some type of self-defense technique. I looked into a lot of different types, and I just felt Gracie Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu would probably be the best for him.
I love being able to know how to protect myself if somebody is trying to bully me or somebody is trying to hurt me.
Parents love bringing their children to these jiu-jitsu classes because it allows them to learn the proper fundamentals of how to defend themselves should they ever encounter a bully. But that's not the only thing they love about this class, though, of course. They also love the fact that there's great morals that are instilled into the children through the instructors every time they come in for a class.
I like at the end when he does the circle time and talks about the different aspects. Like this week, he's concentrating on responsibility. I always like to hear what the kids have to say about the different responsibilities that they have and how they can grow as people.
And hopefully that growth can make bullying a thing of the past. In Chandler, Parker Dunn, Cronkite News.
ASU men's swim team landed in the top 10 for the first time in 19 years at the NCAA championships, finishing 6th. Leon Marchand won 2 individual titles in the 200 IM and 200 breaststroke. He was also named Swimmer of the Year. The Sun Devils are still soaking in those accomplishments.
It's pretty amazing. I didn't know it would be that fast at NCAA. I just knew that we worked pretty well with Bob and all the teams, so I was just ready. I was just ready for NCs, and the adaptation to short course, yeah, was pretty good because I had some pretty good underwater and some stuff, so it was not that bad for me.
A lot of this stuff that we're doing with swimming is like when you get to the final part of your season, it's like a haircut. You don't know if it's any good or not until it's too late. So you're at the meet and you're like, well, we think we did it right, but we don't know. So to actually have it work out, you're like, okay, we're on our plans.
Former ASU running back Rachaad White visited the Tampa Bay Bucs yesterday. White made it onto the Bucs radar during the NFL Combine and can find himself heading to Florida come draft day. White amassed over 1,500 all-purpose yards and 16 touchdowns in his final year at ASU. Now, he's not expected to go in the first round, but several teams are showing interest. White visited the Browns earlier this week and met virtually with 5 other teams. The NFL draft begins 2 weeks from now, and White is taking it all in stride.
I'm just looking to see where I go, and then when I get there, I don't know, I'm just, looking forward to, just keep having fun, enjoying the game, and I feel like everything else will take care of itself.
Finally, the Cardinals re-signed wide receiver A.J. Green to a 1-year deal. He racked up over 800 yards and 3 touchdowns on 54 catches with the Cardinals last season. I would say those stats aren't too bad. Well, that's all we have for sports. Back to you, Raven.
Stick around. After the break, we'll show you a unique Arizona property that's on the market. We'll tell you about what makes this property so different and show you how close it is to one historical site.
Your favorite member benefit is getting better and bigger.
This is wonderful.
Over the next year, Passport is adding new shows and doubling the number of episodes for you to stream.
They give us all that they've got.
From your favorite cooking and travel series.
Even the stairs are breathtaking.
To history specials and award-winning documentaries. Better and bigger.
That really is the fun part.
Stream on any device with Passport on the PBS Video app.
Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication's Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Looking for a place to land your personal helicopter? How about living near a historic gold mine? If you're interested in buying a new and unique pad in the region, you can find both of those features at this new listing in Cave Creek. Take a look at this. This unique spot that's up for sale features its own historic gold mine. This listing gets you up close and personal look at the historic and patented Rack and Sack mine property. The parcel itself is made up of 62 acres and is tucked into the Tonto National Forest, not far from the Scottsdale city limits. The property itself is 4,500 feet in elevation and features a 2-room guest casita and studio. From that elevation, you can check out the views that tourists visit year-round. And did I mention the helipad? Just imagine those spectacular views.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thanks for joining us. For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.